Today's video begins not with a sound, not with an introduction, not with laughter, but with silence. A silence that feels heavier than any word, deeper than any explanation. A silence that only makes sense during life's toughest moments, when emotions live in the spaces we don't immediately talk about. Kelly&Mark and Mark Consuelos, America's beloved duo for more than 3 decades, are facing a moment that feels raw, honest, and deeply human. For years, they've brightened our mornings with warmth, humor, and chemistry that feels almost magical. But today, what they're carrying isn't entertainment. It isn't show business. Today's story has weight, a human weight. It's about family, fear, love, and the quiet moments that catch us off guard. A morning that felt different. That morning in New York didn't feel like the others. There was no cheerful chaos backstage, no buzzing conversations from the production crew, no laughter drifting from the makeup room. Kelly walked into her dressing room, and Mark noticed it instantly. Something was off. Her eyes were tired, her smile was missing, her spirit felt dimmer. He asked gently, "Are you okay?" She hesitated, then whispered, "I'm just thinking a lot." But the silence that followed marked everything. This wasn't going to be an easy day. As the show approached, Kelly tried. She rehearsed, she nodded politely, she gave small smiles, but her mind was somewhere far away, somewhere heavy. Seconds before the camera light blinked red, she took a deep breath, trying to gather every piece of herself. A cracking voice, a heavy truth. The show opened like any other, light jokes, warm energy, casual banter. But halfway through a segment, Kelly's voice cracked. She stopped. Her eyes lowered, and with a trembling breath, she whispered, "Sometimes life reminds you how fragile everything really is." The entire studio froze. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't performative. This was real. Mark leaned slightly toward her, whispering softly, "It's okay. Take your time." In that moment, the poised, polished, always smiling Kelly&Mark looked like someone holding the weight of the world on her shoulders. Tears glistened in her eyes, and she let them fall not as a celebrity, but as a human being. She shared that in recent weeks, their family had been shaken by unexpected news. Someone incredibly close to them, someone who felt like a second parent, had become seriously ill. The news arrived with no warning, no gradual buildup, just a single phone call that turned their world upside down. A night that changed her. Kelly described racing to the hospital, the cold hallways, the rhythmic beeping of machines, the overwhelming uncertainty. She said it felt like time stood still in those sterile rooms. Later that night, at home, she told Mark, "One phone call, and everything changes." Since then, something inside her had shifted. Sleep became distant. Food tasted like nothing. Her work felt faded, as though she was smiling through a fog. Mark stayed with her through everything, quietly holding her hand, sitting beside her, offering comfort in silence when words weren't enough. But inside, Kelly kept replaying the same fear. What if life suddenly takes someone we love? What if we don't get enough time? A moment shared with millions. Back on the show, as Kelly remembered that hospital hallway, her emotions finally broke through. Her eyes filled once more. Mark reached under the table and held her hand. Millions of viewers witnessed something rare, not celebrity perfection, not a polished broadcast, but a couple, strong, loving, vulnerable, facing something deeply human. Mark whispered, "We'll get through this together." Simple words, but powerful enough to help her breathe again. Kelly finished the show not as a host, but as a person opening her heart to her audience. A family gathering that meant everything. After the show, the drive home was quiet. No jokes, no backstage chatter replaying in their minds. Just the two of them sitting with everything they felt. Later that evening, in the same living room where they raised their children, Kelly finally spoke. "I keep thinking about how fast time goes. Our kids grew up so quickly. Our parents are aging. Life changes without asking permission, and I just don't want to lose anyone." Mark pulled her close and whispered, "Fear means you love deeply, and love doesn't disappear, not even when life changes." His words didn't erase the pain, but they softened it. They gave her room to breathe. The next day, Kelly invited her kids and close family for dinner. When everyone gathered, she stood up, her voice soft but steady. She said, "I realized something. We rush through life and forget to appreciate the small, ordinary moments. I don't want fear to be the thing that reminds us how much we mean to each other." Tears filled her eyes. Her family surrounded her, hugging, comforting, holding her hands. For the first time in days, she slept peacefully. A return with new strength. The following morning, Kelly walked back into the studio, looking lighter, calmer, and more grounded. Facing the audience, she said, "Thank you for your love and kindness. I just want you to know that behind the cameras, I'm human too." Mark stood beside her, smiling with pride. He added, "She's the strongest person I know." The studio erupted in applause. Social media overflowed with messages. She made us feel seen. She reminded us we're all human. She is loved by millions. A quiet night, a beautiful realization. Later that night, Kelly and Mark stood on their balcony, city lights shimmering below. Kelly whispered, "I feel lighter today." Mark smiled and said, "We're stronger together." In that quiet moment, their 30-year love story found a new layer of strength. Because love isn't flawless. Sometimes it trembles. Sometimes it breaks. Sometimes it cries. But true love, the real kind, it holds on. It listens. It heals. And today, Kelly, Ripa, and Mark Consuelos reminded the world of this simple truth. Even the strongest hearts have fragile moments, and vulnerability isn't weakness. It is proof of love. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share to send your love and support to Kelly and Mark. Sometimes the most heartbreaking moments are the ones that bring us closer together.